probably look like I'm doing fine. I know how to put on a really good face. I cry normally in the car, doing work, cry at night with my husband. But I also feel a sense of calm and resolve because, like most people say, whenever my mom called me to do something, I did it. My husband can attest to it. She can call me at midnight, ask me to go to 7-Eleven and get a Dr. Pepper. And I'm like, I gotta go. My mom wants a Dr. Pepper. So whenever she asked me to do anything, I did. I love all my aunts. They have been amazing. Coco and Chan. Coco, she had all the doctors jumping because she does everything by the law. She would say, well, in section 2.5 of the healthcare laws, you're not doing something right. And they would jump for her. My cousin Chan would research on the computer about different medications. What was it going to do to my mom? What was it going to do here? How do we get more money for her? How do we get a good caregiver? We had cameras in the house. My husband set up cameras. You would believe the things that people do when they're supposed to be taking care of somebody. I would be at work, trying to get my license and supervision. Being at work, my mom's calling me, the aide didn't come. I got to figure out who's going to go. My cousin Sonia has been an excellent aide, the only caregiver my mom did not fire. So much. Greyson and Lauren have been amazing grandchildren. They were going into the hospital. They would rub my mom's feet. They would sit with her. They would sing with her. Lauren would entertain her. Lauren and I, we would go to my mom's house sometimes. I have to be at work at like 7 or 8. We would go to my mom's house. I'll stay there to maybe like 5 or 6. Lauren is with me. We're getting home. Way early in the morning. My husband's like, this just seems dangerous. And I'm like, but there's nobody there with my mom. I can't leave her by herself. My Aunt Brenda, she is the aunt who can make me cry. She is the aunt who, she can tell me anything. She'll be like, you shouldn't be leaving your mom. You should be doing this. And I never talk back to my aunt. I'm not one of those people who's like, I'm going to do something I do. My aunt is amazing. She stayed with me. She stayed with me. She would come to my mom's house at any time. She would come all the way from Hampton, Richmond, Fredericksburg. She would do everything for my mom. They would argue, but then she still would come. The transportation for my mom, can you guys stand up? Can you stand up? The right way to medical transport. I'm crying because these young men treated my mom like a doll baby. They were just supposed to take her from her house to the houses and bring her back. They would, if the aide wasn't there, they would get her ready. They would get her water. They would do everything for her. And I'll be like, I thought you got wet because it was raining up a storm. And she was like, oh no, they didn't let me get wet. They covered me in blankets and everything. And I was like, oh my God, they treated her like a doll baby. And I will always remember you guys. I love you guys like a brother. They treated her so well. I appreciate my husband for if I had to drop everything and go to my mom, I'll be like, you have the kids. I don't know how Lauren's hair is going to look for school, but she'll be fine. Simi, my mom, when Simi came over, she's like a very loving person. She would just almost pick my mom up out of the bed and just love her and make jokes and all those things. She has been an excellent sister. I am so glad I have a great aunt. Miss Henrietta, my mom's cousin Francis, and Mr. Horace Browntree, were amazing friends. Miss Henrietta would sit on the phone with my mom all night long and talk to her about the old times, and that would make my mom happy. She didn't want to talk about being sick or going to dialysis all day. She wanted to talk about other things. Cousin Francis would call and talk to her as well and make her laugh and make her happy. She needed those things. And Mr. Roundtree, like he said, she would call him anytime to do anything, and he did it. Even though he has a wife, my mom was like, okay, but I still need him to come in. And I'm sure his wife, I'm sure she knows that it was nothing. And the things that I like that, what is Pastor Cheryl? Like Pastor Cheryl said one time, the women that I grew up with, they could be friends with men, and there was nothing going on. Nothing. It was just a friendship. My mom's neighbor, Mike in the back, Mike, when my mom used to make me go to the store for her, and she would make me put her in the car, and I was like, but I'm not strong enough to do that. Mike would come and lift her out of the bed, put her in the wheelchair, put her in the car. He's an excellent neighbor. Mike, wave your hand, Mike. My mom's barber, my husband's barber, my husband's barber. My mom loves Ronnie B so much. She talks about him all the time, and I appreciate that you always ask about my mom. Greyson would tell me, he would say, Ronnie B asked about your mom, and I appreciate that, Ronnie B. Thank you so much. Who else did I know? You know that I love you. All the things that you said about my mom, Tiffany, thank you for helping me through this whole process and looking at me cry. My mom, some of her caregivers are here, the ones who actually did work. Would actually come in and not try to take over my mom's house. All the people who tried to take over my mom's house, they got immediately fired by me. Because you're not going to come to my mom's house and tell her what to do. You're not going to tell her to wait. You're not going to tell her you're not going to live her. And you're definitely not going to leave her just unclean. You're going to do the work, and you're going to respect her house. Like my Aunt Timmy always says, and my Aunt Brenda, they used to try to watch The Young and the Restless. And sneak and watch The Young and the Restless. And my mom was like, no, I hear something. She said, that doesn't sound right. She did not like for anybody to watch anything that was not right. And it does make a difference what you play in your house. And she did not allow that. Pastor Holloman, thank you so much for all that you've done. Dee, this is my neighbor Dee and Corey. They grew up with me. Dee would come to the hospital and see my mom every time. And Dee knows that my mom used to rebuke her as well. Miss Elaine and her husband. Miss Elaine is a wonderful friend to my mom and my family. Miss Elaine, I love you so much. Thank you so, so much. You stood up, right? Okay, good. Everybody, I just love everybody. I thank you. I'm glad that my aunt explained why we needed money in such a short period of time.
Okay.
Oh, and Sister Little, is she still here? Sister Little, what you told me at church about how the journey that I was going to go through, my intellect wasn't going to work. Because my intellect, my connections with people, my great writing skills, none of that helped me in this. She told me that I was going to have to rely on the Lord. And I really did. I absolutely hated to ask people for money because I've never had to do that before. So that was really hard to do because, people were like, she said, like, why does she need money? She had a husband, he got a good job. Those things don't matter in this instance. But I appreciate you, Pastor Brinkley. What you did, it just brought tears to all of our eyes. It was so heartfelt, and I appreciate you. My mom loved your dad and your mom. We loved going to Holy Temple. That church was always awesome. Pastor Lorna Jones, thank you so much for your family. Everybody is amazing. My friend's support came from DC. She loves my mom, and her mom just passed away recently as well. So I just appreciate everybody. Greyson and Lauren, did you guys have anything you want to say? Lauren has something she wants to say. Come on, Lauren. Oh, did I say hi to my brother Noodles back there? Noodles. That's my brother. I met my brother when I was about like 14 or 15. And he and I act like we grew up together. He's been an amazing brother. He always takes really good care of me. He always respected my mom. And I appreciate that because my brother, his lifestyle back then, he was, making all this money and doing all types of things. And my mom, she always loved him and he always loved her as well. So I really appreciate you as well.
One thing I loved about her is that she would give me candy when my parents were looking. She used to always pray for us, and she always prayed for my mom.
If I don't miss you, it doesn't mean that you didn't do anything. It's just hard to see everybody. Oh, Tiffany, Elliot, where is she? Okay, well, Tiffany, my mom will also call her, and Tiffany, she never told her no. She will always go. Jemiah used to do it. My mom used to send her to Captain D's 1,000 times, and she never said, I don't have time to go. She would go, and she would make sure she had the food. It's just those little things like that that really matter. Who else did I do? Oh, Miss Tina, she helped me out in the beginning because Miss Tina's an excellent caregiver and she really showed me how it's supposed to be done. And she was the type of personality that my mom liked, very energetic and saved and all those things. So I just appreciated all those things and all those people. But some things I want to tell you, before my mom got saved, she was a little power to be with. If you read the obituary, my mom, the purpose of the drum major coming in is because my mom was the first female drum major at Preston High School. So that was to her because I heard she was great. People used to stand on the sidelines like, okay, go girl. And so she was great. I love my mom. She and I did a lot together. She was not my best friend, like some people try to say we were friendly, but I never thought of her as my friend. I always thought of her as my mom, that I just happened to do things with, because we did a lot of things. People always try to say that, if you go to church, it's boring. None of the churches that I went to have ever been boring. They've always been exciting. They always been, I can stay there for 5 hours and it is not boring. I enjoyed going to church with my mom. I enjoyed doing things with her. She was very smart, very elegant. She was a makeup artist. You know how these young ladies are doing makeup and stuff now. She used to do that at Smith & Wesson and Rice's. She also was a model. She has modeled for runway shows. She did a little bit with Fashion Fair. That used to be a big modeling agency back then. And one time she was modeling on TV and I was about 6 and I kept waving at her. I kept waving and she wasn't waving back. When she got home, I was like, I kept waving at you and you didn't wave back. And she was like, I couldn't see you, I was on TV. She has been amazing. My mom got married when she was 22 to my dad, Melvin. They honeymooned in Hawaii and they were ultimately stationed in California. She used to talk about how she got homesick because they didn't have cell phones back then, so you had to call long distance. And she said that her mom will always accept her calls, no matter how long they stayed on the phone. And then after 7 years of trying, they had me. And my mom and I, we have traveled. We were really good travel buddies because we like to go places and kind of leisure around and then eat and meet people. So we were really good travel buddies. We've gone to Kenya. She's gone to Israel a lot of times. She was about to move there, but she decided against it because she didn't want to leave me. But she was almost about to move to Israel. She's been to London and all those things. So not only was she saved and sanctified, she also lived a full life. And so that gives me a lot of comfort and hope as well. My mom, she was had high expectations. I'm really glad that she didn't let me hang out. She didn't let me sleep around with people. She didn't let me do all those things. I'm appreciative of that. One of her neighbors told me something the other day that I thought was really special, and I put it in the program. She was saying that your mom, she has lived without you, but you've never lived without her. And I thought that was really profound because that's true. So this will be my first time not living with my mom, and I will always miss her and love her. A lot of people say that Lauren reminds her of them, and so that might make me like you a little bit more, Lauren. Greyson, my mom really loves you, and so I'm just really thankful for getting to spend time with my mom. And I think that's it. I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew how thankful I was for all that you've done. Pastor Denby, we've traveled together, and I appreciate you coming, Miss Phil. Thank you for visiting my mom and always having a bubbly personality. When you're sick, you don't want people coming around you acting sad. You know, come around and be happy and talk about things that they want to talk about. So I appreciate everybody. And so my aunt Coco spearheaded, so my mom, back in the 60s, she spearheaded a voting act for a voting petition where Leslie, who is her Aunt Leslie, and my grandma Ella, they got all the African Americans in the community together to solidify the vote for the first mayor of Chesapeake. His name was Colin Hall. So Chesapeake, the current mayor, they gave my mom a special recognition that honors her for all of that work, all the way from that time period, stating that she is a North Star. They expressed their deepest gratitude for her tireless advocacy and humanity for all that she did. So it's you never know all the things that people do. That's why it's important to talk to people who you're with, talk to your family members. Because my mom had a deep legacy of things that she has done. And so I'm really proud of her. And there's one more letter before Apostle Matthews comes up. Sorry. So I won't read the entire thing, but on behalf of the pastors, officers, and members of Covenant Fellowship Church, they offer their sincere and heartfelt sympathy. They're praying for comfort, and that's Bishop Kevin White. And then New Galilee Missionary Baptist Church, they wanted to extend their sympathy as well. Their thoughts and prayers are with us all. May the grace of their Redeemer, comfort, the Holy Spirit be with you. And that is from Reverend Anderson Foreman and Sister Lily Foreman. And my mom's friend, Dot Mosley, are you here? Dot Mosley? That's my mom's best friend, Dot Mosley. When my mom's house caught on fire when she was little, she stayed at their house, and my mom has always said that your family just treated her like they gave birth to her. And those things are really important. They didn't make her feel like she was just a vagabond, but they treated her really well, so thank you. And I see my cousin Leo. And I see my friend Kim Privet. Her mom passed away at a very young age. Kim was maybe like 6. And my mom, she never let me go to anybody's house, but she let me go to Kim's house all the time, even though her dad was the sole person who was there, and nothing ever happened. Her dad was amazing. So I appreciate all those people. Lil Mike, my mom loves you so much. Tremaine, Trina, all of you, my mom loved you all so much. Miss Valance was another caregiver who treated my mom just with respect. And anybody who respects my mom, I appreciate them. Renee and Joyce, thank you for coming over anytime my mom asked you to. She came over, y'all came over all the time. And Joyce, I always appreciate how you used to look at my mom with such respect and honor. I appreciate that from you. And thank you, everybody. I would like to thank this church, St. Luke, because all the churches that my mom used to go to, and all the churches that we used to fellowship with, I called them and I said, can my mom have her service at your church? And they said, no, she cannot, because she's not a member of our church. And I said, well, how could she be a member if she's a pastor? They were like, oh, we only do it for our members. And I was like, okay, did you hear the name I just told you? Like, Pastor Barbara Jordan Williams? She can't have her service at your church? And they were like, no. So thank you, St. Luke. Thank you to Joe, Tori, and your name, I don't know your name, I'm sorry. Y'all did amazing. Walking Light was the song that my grandpa Elder Eugene Gay used to sing, Walk in the Light, and I used to love that song. You love that song, so thank you for singing that. Thank you, Miss Divine and her husband, for always feeding me and being so kind to me. Thank you so much for coming with me to the hospital when my mom was there. Thank you, Dominique and Peasy. Thank you so much. Thank you as well. Is that everybody? Thank you to Fidget Man. Fidget Man and I, at first we had a rocky start. I was like, why does she act like she don't like me? And then as time went on, because I was just all over the place. Like, it all happened so fast. When I got into my mom's house and saw that she was passed away, I looked at her and I was like, because I normally come in and I'm like, hi. And I said, hi, and she didn't say hi back. I went and looked at her. She wasn't breathing. I looked again, I touched her chest. And I said, oh my gosh, she is dead. I could not believe it. And I was just so stunned, and then everything happened so quickly. They were like, call 911 and call your aunt. So my aunt, Linda, I don't know how she got there so fast from Hampton, but it all happened so fast. And they were like, she was in a funeral home, and it just all happened so quickly, I didn't know what to do. And so thank you for helping me, because it was a tough process. Anybody else? Thank you, Cassie. Cassie is always my photographer. She's amazing, and I love her. Her dad is ringing bells. I guess she wants to live in one of the members. But thank you to everybody. Thank you to Sister Regina and Miss Bobette for coming over there and praying for my mom that day. Anybody else? Patrice, thank you for coming. Thank you. Okay. All right, thank you, everybody.
As you can see, she appreciated and thanked everyone for what